Welcome to Abby Talk on the Ross Castaldo Sports Network, featuring your host, Host-Abhinav bokka, channel owner, Ross Castaldo, Jason Nagelski, and NFC North insider, Marlin John. Our first game we'll be doing is the Browns-Ravens. Baltimore has won the last 8 meetings and are on a 13-game home winning streak. The Browns are on an 11-game AFC North losing streak. Marlin, how do you feel about this one?
Now, I need to go with the obvious choice of the Ravens. Because, they have every advantage against the Browns. They just came off a close win with the Patriots. They're not going to lose that momentum, especially when they're at home field.
Ross?
I agree with you. I think the Ravens are ultimately going to win this one. They're just too good. The Browns are they are getting better, just not in the win column, but they're a work in progress. The Ravens are still one of the elite. You got to go with the Ravens at home.
Final score?
I'm going to go the Browns actually keep it within 10, actually. I think they'll make this a little bit of a ball game. I think the Ravens will play a little bit down. It'll be 24-14 final.
Marlin, what is the final score?
I got to go a little lower with the Browns. I'm not completely sure about this offense yet. They got to completely get it together. Trent Richardson still's got to get that momentum going. He got it in game 2. But, he's got to get it going against a good defense like the Ravens. So I'm going maybe a 6-30.
Okay. Our next game is the 49ers going to New York and playing the Jets. The 49ers coming off a loss to Minnesota. The Jets escaping Miami with a win. Ross, how do you feel about this one?
Being a Jet fan, I feel horrible about this one because I know without the Ravens, the Jets have 0 chance of winning this football game. The only way I can see them even coming remotely close is if Mark Sanchez lives up to that first-round pick status and puts the Jets on his back, which he's not going to be capable of doing. And I think the Jets fall to 2-2.
Final score?
It's tough to say. I think the 49ers will score 31 and the Jets will score 17. 31-17 final.
Marlon.
Now, I'm not just going to say that the 49ers are going to win because they're coming off a bad loss, but also because the Jets' defense is trying to refine themselves without Darrelle Revis. It's going to take some time to get back into that groove without him. You saw how they did against Miami after he was gone. So, I think that that's going to make a huge difference in this game. My final score, a little higher scoring for the 49ers, maybe 39-20 at most for the Jets.
Okay.
Maybe even in the 10s.
Alright. Our next game, the Carolina Panthers going into Atlanta. Matt Ryan is the league leader in passer rating. 72% completion percentage, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. Cam Newton, on the other hand, is coming off a 3-interception game against the Giants. Marlon, how do you feel about this one?
Now, I gotta go with Atlanta. Obviously, they're the better team right now. Matt Ryan's got his passing good. Julio Jones coming off an injury. He can still catch with one hand. That man is a beast. Put him on your fantasy team. Yes.
And do you have a final score?
Final score. With Carolina's defense being as bad as I saw it against the Jets, I think the score could be very high.
Keep going.
32-10, because I still think Cam Newton will still get at least a touchdown.
Alright, Ross?
This Carolina offense was a complete embarrassment. They have stunk without Jonathan Stewart, and if he's out again, they have 0 chance. I think Matt Ryan is going to continue to play consistent play, and I think the Falcons win this one easy. I say 31-17. I think if Stewart plays.
Okay, our next matchup, the Patriots going to Buffalo and playing the Bills. The Bills will be without C.J. Spiller. Ross, how do you feel about this
one? Patriots don't lose 3 games in a row, so I'm picking the Patriots. I know Hernandez is out, and they still scored 30 points without him. And, that kick didn't seem like it went in, so they probably should have won the football game. But there was a bunch of bad calls last week, and you got to deal with them. And I think that's going to be the message that Bill Belichick is giving to the Patriots this week in practice. And I think the Patriots will be right back. They'll be 2-2, and they'll be all right. They'll move on forward and get to another AFC East title.
Oh. Yes, Marlon.
I expect a good game from the Patriots. I understand the Bills have home field advantage, but you have to understand how frustrated the Patriots are right now. They're coming off their worst start in maybe like 10 seasons, losing to the Arizona Cardinals. That has to hurt. So, even though the Bills have home field advantage, their defense will step up. Fitzpatrick won't be able to get what he got in the beginning of last year. So, I'm saying Patriots high-scoring game, 34-17.
So you think the Bills cannot keep up with their offense?
No.
No?
I think it's gonna be tough. Jackson, he's listed as doubtful. Spiller's listed as doubtful, and really you're putting a lot of pressure on your third string running back to start choice. So I think it's gonna be mighty tough for the Bills to overcome that.
Too many injuries, and the fact that a frustrated Patriots team, their defense is going to be up a notch more than it usually is. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Bills.
Alright, our next game. The Vikings going to Detroit. Christian Ponder coming off a great performance against the 49ers. And Mikel LaShort, his debut, getting 100 yards. Marlon, how do you feel?
Now, I'm going to surprise you with this one, Abhinav, and I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Okay.
Now, if you look at Christian Ponder, he has been improving as a quarterback as the year has been going on. With Adrian Peterson coming back, he's slowly going back to who he used to be. Obviously, he's not going to be the same person, but he's still one of the most productive running backs in the NFL. With Christian Ponder doing good, a division rivalry right there, the Vikings will be able to make a statement that they are a good team, and they aren't going to be one of the last seeded teams last year.
Okay. Ross?
Marlon, we're actually sharing a brain.
Okay.
I think if Matthew Stafford's out, that's going to be very tough for the Lions to recover. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Mikel LaShort. I realize he's definitely a talented runner, but the Vikings did a great job of shutting down Frank Gore and all the offensive weapons on the 49ers. I think they're just very well coached. Ponders, he's gotten off to a very hot start. I think they'll continue. Peterson looks fine. This Viking team could sneak up on you. I'm not saying they'll make the playoffs, but I think they'll be a lot better than they were last year, and they'll come away with this victory.
Close game?
It should be, but if Stafford's not going to be there, I think there's going to be a little bit more breathing room for the Vikings.
Alright, next game. San Diego going to Kansas City. Philip Rivers was just dismal last week against the Falcons. Ross, how do you feel about this one?
Well, this game's in Kansas City, a spot where Philip Rivers, if we all recall, fumbled the game away. The game went to overtime, and KC came out with it. Rivers, I think he will step up. I think he realizes that this team solely relies on him. And I think the Chiefs kind of got lucky last week. I know Charles put the team on his back, but you are playing the worst defense in football last week, and that's not really an accomplishment. Their team could have been blown out 3 weeks in a row, and I expect this one to be a blowout.
Marlon?
Now, I expect the Chiefs to do a little better. I think Jamal Charles, he can be a star running back like he was 2 years ago. He was amazing last game, and I still feel he could keep up to that. Obviously, not the monster game that he had last week, but he could still be consistent. The Chiefs, their offense is getting together more than it was last year. Plus, with home field advantage, I think they can get away with the win.
Alright, Seahawks to Seattle is going to St. Louis. Marlon, how do you feel?
Now, I think the Rams, after coming back from the Bears, they got that little kick that they needed to finally work hard and get a win. I mean, with the Redskins, it was a close game. They really did not have that much breathing room. With this game, they're frustrated. They have good quarterbacks to make sure that Russell Wilson cannot make the pass. Their running game in Seahawks is still a threat, but I think that running game is not enough to beat the Rams.
Ross?
I disagree with you, Marlon. I think the Seahawks defense is definitely an advantage. I mean, the Rams only scored 6 points. In my opinion, the Bears do have a great defense, but so do the Seahawks. If you're only going to put up 6 points against a good defense, then might as well just go home. And I think the Seahawks come away quite easily.
So, you're seeing a blowout?
Yeah, I mean, if Russell Wilson doesn't turn the ball over and Marshawn Lynch just gets going, I can't see the Rams scoring many points. I know that they held the Packers to 12 points.
Okay.
You're not saying they can hold. I can say they're going to hold. The Packers are a much better team than the Rams.
No, Steven Jackson coming back. Obviously, he did not do that good with the Bears. I think he's still kind of recovering. He said he would be full speed for the Bears game. I did not see that. Personally, I think next week he will be just a little better. Still coming back from that injury. But he will be able to make a difference in this game. And personally, I think he can do something for this game against the Seahawks.
All right. That is it for the.